Hey guys, Rorius here. Welcome back to Dream Daddy. I wanted to start here just because it's the last proper episode of this I think we're gonna do. There's gonna be one more episode that's gonna be like more like a stream that's just gonna be a really long piece that's just me going through all the dead endings. Yeah, I thought we'd start here just so we can have like a little, it's like a mini outro intro. Well, let's get into Dad Book.
Welcome. You've got dads.
I mainly just wanted to hover in the menu because of the music, but... So, I've thought about this for a little while. I gave it... Well, I just sat here for at least 10 minutes thinking to myself, who am I going to choose for the final date? Who am I going to pick of all these people? There's some obvious ones, like I mentioned last time, these four were the, like, top. And while I like, all the dads have something good about them, some good quality or whatever, it came down to, I think I decided it came down to these three. And because of the whole second date, I won't mention too much about it. Yeah, I decided to cut him out, and we were left with Craig and Brian as the last two. Brian's character has grown a hell of a lot on me since I started playing. Initially, I hated it. I hated him. I hate, like, competitive people that are like, you know, like Brian. But he grew on me real fast as soon as I started, you know, doing stuff with him. I was thinking about this before. I'm just gonna say it. I apologize for being so vanilla, but I'm gonna go with Craig. Yeah, here we go. You know what they say about third dates? They get pretty serious. You might not have time to browse Dad Book for a while. Are you ready? Yeah. So, this is where things diverge. Instead of just going on a date and then coming back to Dad Book, this is like the final one, and then you have to go through the whole ending segment, whole ending sequence. Yeah, with your final choice. So, let's go ahead. Yeah, I feel bad for being so vanilla, because I'm pretty sure everyone who plays this chooses Craig. But he's the guy who we know the best. We're most familiar with him. In several ways, we've been the closest with him. But then there's a few other dads who we've been equally close with, I think. It took some time for our schedules to line up, but I was finally able to find a weekend where Craig and I could go camping. That's right, I forgot that was what the third date was. He always stays so busy with work and the kids, but it's good to know that we'll just be able to spend some time relaxing together in nature. Since our first run, I've managed to go on regular runs with Craig. Ah, right, yeah, background stuff between dates. I mostly do them because it seems like the only time we get to hang out. But the added benefit is that I've seen a lot of improvement in my health. I was able to sift through the attic and find my old camping gear from college. Craig put me in charge of bringing the sleeping bags and the tent while he takes care of the food. So I double check to make sure everything is ready to go. Craig should be here any minute now. Sorry, my voice has been all weird today. Amanda's going to be spending this weekend on a school trip to our nation's capital. She hasn't been away from home without me for longer than a day since she was 14. I hope she isn't feeling as nervous about this as I am. Hey, Amanda Panda? Amanda's in the middle of sitting on the top of her luggage in order to get it to finally zip. Hey, Pops. Ready for your trip? Once I get this bad boy all zipped up, I'm good to go. How much did you pack? That seems like a lot for 2 days. Oh, it's all my camera equipment. Lenses, tripod, flash, all that. Are you even gonna have time to take pictures? I'll find a way. I need to get some good shots for my series on national monuments. Oh, what's the series about? It's one of those internet series where I reimagine Disney princesses as founding fathers. What? I'm kidding, nobody likes those. I'm taking portraits of my friends. Oh, well, I'm gonna be in the woods, out there in nature. You know, roughing it. Just me and Mother Nature. The old Madre de Trees. Madre de Trees? Are you gonna be alright on your own?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how... I'm not gonna have any signal out there. I won't be able to text or call you at all. Oh, it's alright. I'll be able to survive a couple of days without constant updates on who just got voted off International Haunted House Hunters. Oh. Well, I'll miss you. Well, I'll miss you. And for the record, Bradley was pushed down a flight of ornate stairs by a ghost. They were really beautiful stairs. Amanda finishes zipping up the big suitcase and lugs it next to the door of her bedroom. She turns around and gives me a big hug. Relax, Dadtron. I'm a big kid now. I can take care of myself. Besides, I gotta share a room with Monica Sanders and 2 mom chaperones. The most trouble I could possibly get into is falling asleep with a tub of ice cream on me. Oh, well, alright. Don't steal anything, okay? Since you asked nicely, fine, promise. I step outside, holding my bags behind me. Craig's already strapped some camping gear on top of my modest but stylish car, which they never show. He notices me carrying my equipment and hurries over to take it from me. Oh, I forgot. But it's still technically a date. Okay, what do I say here? I got my list out. Best outcome, love. I got it? Don't you dare. Such a gentleman. I got it. I angle away from him, doing my best dance moves to get past him to the car. My god, my words. Remember, it's your weekend to relax. Take it easy. I guess I can't argue with that. Everything good with Amanda? Oh, damn it. It's just neutral. Shit. Such a gentleman. I almost had a case of the vapors there. Never fear. These muscles are made for picking up heavy things and putting them into other places. That was not. That's actually like his original voice. I can't believe I've gone back to his original. Remember, it's your weekend to relax. Take it easy. I guess I can't argue with that. Everything good with Amanda? Yep, on our way to a school trip to Washington, D.C. What about your offspring? Oh. Already had Smashleys for the weekend. I'm ready to get my camp on. I load the rest of my stuff into Craig's car and we get in. Oh, so we're going in Craig's car. I thought we were going in mine for some reason. Oh no. What's wrong? I think I left my juicer plugged in. We gotta go back. Are you worried that someone's gonna break into your house and cold press some carrots? No, it's just... Just try to relax, man. Let the juicer float away. Take all your worries and blend them into pulpy good vibes. Craig takes a deep breath. Do we have anything to listen to? All I had at my place is a series of CDs that guide you through a thorough and intense calisthenics workout. Do you want to listen to those? I'm just kidding. Craig hands me a thick case filled with CDs. Take your pick. I thumb through page after page of kids' sing-along CDs. Oh yeah, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star takes me back. Keep going. I get to the end of the case to find, in the very last slot, a blank CD with Craig's handwriting on it. DJ Cake Stand's Megamix Volume 1? Made it just for the trip. I think you'll like it. I pop the CD into the car's stereo and it's like I'm immediately transported to our old dorm room. Hit after hit plays, and soon enough we're both happily scream-singing the lyrics to each song as we fly down the highway. Ah, this song was Carl's favorite. Carl, the third roommate! Yes, the dog. You brought that dog home one night and I couldn't pry you two apart. So you spent an entire semester fabricating a story about our foreign exchange student roommate who had a really bad cough that sounded exactly like a dog's bark. We've told this exact story in a previous date. And then we had a room inspection. That RA was so suspicious of us but could never prove anything. And Carl was just under a blanket. Bless that pup's courage under fire. Man, we did some dumb things back in college. The hours fly by as we belt out tunes in whatever non-existent key our voices register in. Soon enough, we're surrounded by lush trees and spectacular vistas of everything amazing that nature has to offer. It feels good to be back out here. Real good. We park our car at the entrance to a familiar trail and load up our gear on our backpacks. I'm thankful that I've been working on my health over the past couple of weeks, otherwise I'd be dreading all this hiking that's about to happen. Craig looks intently at his phone. Everything alright? Yep. Just had to fire off one last work email. Craig pockets the phone and we start off on the trail. It's relatively easy, but I know I would have been huffing and puffing at this point if it weren't for all the murder sprints. I look around me and take in all the tall trees and animal chirps. Everything okay back there? There's no reception out here. Oh yeah, being out in the middle of nowhere will do that. I recognize the look of anxiety on Craig's face. But what if there's a problem? Save it. You've trained for this. Reception is the least of our worries. There won't be. There won't be. It'll be fine. Come on, bud. Who's a relaxed boy? I don't know. Craig? I was like, I don't think I made it. But no, the like is the best. I'm a relaxed boy. That's my dude. We keep my... That's a weird interaction right there. I honestly thought I had chosen wrong, but whatever. We keep marching down the trail, but it seems like Craig is still worried. After a bit he stops in his tracks. Maybe we should go back? We could find another camping ground that gets good cell reception? Craig, seriously, what's wrong? I mean, I'm just really nervous. My dad instinct is kicking in and my mind keeps conjuring up all sorts of worst case scenarios. What if something happens to the girls? I don't have signal. I would have no way of knowing. Let me tell you, that feeling never goes away, no matter how old your kids are. You just gotta remind yourself that they're in good hands. Craig doesn't say anything. I give him a reassuring punch on the shoulder. Try to remember why we came out here. The plan was to get away from it all, and just focus on ourselves for this little trip. No distractions, no cell phone service, just two dads relaxing out in the woods. Craig looks me directly in the eyes. Really directly. No distractions, no cell phone service, just two dads relaxing out in the woods. We're gonna have some fun this weekend. Craig and I get back to marching. It's not too long of a hike before we get to the campsite, and we're both glad to see that we're the only people there. I can't believe you still have this tent. Found it in my attic, and already checked it for holes. It's seen better days, sure, but I think we'll be able to survive. I dump the bag of fabric and poles onto the ground. We unfold the tent in the desired spot. I hand Craig the stakes. We still know how to do this, right? Of course we do. We do not. After 20 minutes of struggling like people in a bad infomercial, we somehow managed to build an upright structure that closely resembles what a tent should look like if you ask somebody to draw a picture of one with their eyes shut. I wouldn't put this up against a storm, but I think we'll be able to survive for the night. We sit out a couple of chairs and our cooking equipment, admiring our handiwork. Bro, look at us go! Look upon the kingdom we have built. Upon this rock we shall grill our meats, and drink our brews, for we hold dominion over this land. Verily! And look at our camping chairs, which we are going to sit on. So what's next on the camp extravaganza docket? Well, now that we have shelter settled, I think it's time for us to do some exploring. There's a waterfall a little bit up the way that I'm sure we could hike to. God, I can't speak when I put on that voice. I stumble over every other syllable, I swear. Let's get hiking. Craig and I venture into the woods. We amble along, taking our time to chat and admire the wildlife. Craig reaches out an arm and stops me. Dude, does that look like what I think it looks like? I look over at where he's pointing. Oh my god, it does. That tree looks like a butt. I can't get over how detailed it is. I examine the butt tree further. The contour is perfect. It even has back dimples. I thought we were going to have a great time camping, but this makes it even better. Craig holds back a snicker. I aspire to have every hike be as good as this one. I'm snickering too now. Let us analyze this tree. I'm not going to say it the way... Yeah. Craig and I share a huge belly laugh at our awful jokes. The best thing about this is that there's no daughters here to tell us our jokes are bad. We high five. Oh dear, this is dumb. Craig and I hit the trail again. It's been a long time since we've been out here, but everything seems more or less familiar. We point out old landmarks that we remember back from our college days. I think we're getting close now. Check it out! There's a clearing up ahead. As we get closer, I can hear water running. Cresting over a hill, Craig and I are greeted by a wide clearing surrounded by trees. In front of us is a beautiful waterfall, spilling into a large body of water that runs into a river. Mouths agape with the genuine beauty of the place, we go to investigate. The old waterfall!
Hey.
It's gorgeous! Nature is so rad. Peering further, we get an idea of how deep the pool is. Think we could jump off of it like the old days? Ha! This old dad is happy here on the dry land. Looks like you could climb right up over here. We didn't even bring swimming trunks. What are you talking about? Craig immediately begins taking his clothes off. Ah. ... Dear. Shall we? Why not? I've saved it. I can't help but sneak a peek. That is a good butt. Craig turns around suddenly. He catches me looking. I do a lot of glute workouts. Okay. Dear. Okay. I immediately turn away, blushing. That's a genuine blush moment. You coming or what? Oh, I don't know about this dude. He's already making his way over to the waterfall by the time I finish my sentence. When he realizes I'm not right behind him, he turns around and rolls his eyes. We lived together for years, and I've seen your ass more times than I can count. It's no big deal. Oh. I guess it's a good point. I never had friends that I was this close with, but whatever. You got it, Chief. Let's put on a show. Who needs pants anyway? Okay. Who needs pants anyway, or you got it, Chief? I don't think I'm gonna do that one. Who needs pants anyway? They're society's oppressors. Down with pants, down with the system. That's the spirit. Oh, nope. Damn it. Is it Let's Put On a Show? I suddenly have that, because you got it, Chief. That's, Let's put on a show? If the clothes are coming off, then it's someone's birthday. Craig gives me the wolf whistle. Okay, it was that. Damn it. Oh dear. I turn and give my booty a good That's a sentence that I did not intend to read. Give my ass a good spank. That one's for you, big boy. I'm uncomfortable. I need an adult. I need an adult. I take my shirt off and drop it in a pile with Craig's clothes. I put the rest of my clothes on the ground, feeling exposed. Craig and I climb up to the top of the waterfall, making sure not to slip on any wet rocks. He reaches the peak before I do and offers me a hand getting up. At the top, we look over the cliff and into the tiny lake. It seems so much higher up from this perspective. Craig's always been a daredevil. He pulled some stunts in college that I'm honestly still shocked he survived. I was always the one standing on the sidelines watching and hoping I wouldn't be bringing him home in a gurney, sorry. Man, this could be dangerous. Craig looks me in the eyes. Don't think, just jump. Craig cannonballs off the waterfall and into the lake, creating a huge splash. I'm worried for a moment before he finally resurfaces from under the water. Whoa! Whoa! He treads water and looks up at me. You coming or what? Don't think, just jump. How are you supposed to just not think? I'm pretty sure that's not physically possible. My toes grip the edge of the rock. The water looks so far away. Don't think, just... I run off the edge, trying to do my best cannonball. Somewhere in the middle, it turns into a really graceful belly flop. Oh, no! I hit the water with a loud slap. I resurface to find Craig giggling. I rate that belly flop a solid 8 out of 10. Your form was lacking, but your heart was in the right place. I playfully splash water at Craig.
Nice.
Are you sure about that? I splash him again.
Oh.
You've given me no choice. Craig splashes me in the face with a huge wave of water. You've awakened the beast. He launches another wave of water at me. Don't you put me in a corner here. Don't put a wild animal in the corner. Okay, there's a lot of choices in this. Oh, squirt water at him with your hands, hammer fist, or dunk him. If I was actually there, this is probably how I would react. I lunge for Craig and manage to get him in an arm lock. Time for the finishing move. I summon all of my dad's strength to lift Craig out of the water.
Dude.
Hey! And I drop him down for the splash. Craig bounces back out of the water.
Whoa.
My turn! Oh no, it seems like Craig was simply allowing me to pick him up and dunk him. He grapples with me and his clearly superior muscles and quite literally tosses me across the water. I emerge from the water devastated. Was that right? You think I did all these pull-ups just so I could look good with my shirt off? Nah, bro. These arm cannons are dad launchers. Yay, it was right. Yes. Craig does a playful flex for me. Damn. Craig, truce, please. Craig thinks about it. Yeah, sure. We shake hands. There is peace. Man, that jump was such an adrenaline rush. Not so scary now, huh? I'll race you to the top. We run all the way up the slick rocks and cannonball off the waterfall again. What a rush. Good form on that one. Wanna go again? I think this is one that you can get an achievement on. I've seen the achievement. I have to go a certain distance and then not go too far. You know it. With the same energy we had in our youth, we climb back up to the top of the waterfall. I'm brave enough to try a flip, which I'm sure looks incredibly graceful as I belly flop into the water. Phew, man, this is fun. Oh, phew, man, this is fun. Got one more in you? I live for danger. It takes us a little more time, but we get to the waterfall and both do our best running jumps into the water below. Alright, I think that's my limit. We should get going, back before it gets too dark. Do I do it one more time? I feel like you do it one more time. Are you kidding? I've never felt more alive. Alright, bro, you sure? It's my time to jump. I scurry up the rocks once more and do another classic cannonball. Wow, this is so fun. I'm getting kinda cold. Wanna go back to the camp now? Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. We should probably head back. I think I don't know if I did that right. Hopefully I did that the 100% right. We go because it doesn't give you the responses, so I have no idea. One thing I'll mention is that this is the only last date that I remember of any of the dads, so it's probably the one I'm most familiar with. Even though, to be fair, none of the third dates I'm particularly familiar with. Just this one. In fact, do I even remember any of the other third dates? I might have seen Robert's one, but I don't remember it. We go to put our clothes back on and notice that they're soaking wet. Maybe a splash fight wasn't the best idea. Ah, it's okay. We'll get a fire going in no time. We can dry off and get some dinner going. I noticed now that this is the second time we've been on a camping trip. It's weird. Sopping wet, we hike back to the camp and unpack everything we need for dinner. Craig pulls out a couple of steaks and some chopped potatoes and tinfoil. You ready for a feast? Hey man, take a seat. The Craig train is pulling into the relaxation station, and I'm your conductor. Let me cook for you. Absolutely not. Cooking is the thing that relaxes me the most. I'll take it from here. Craig cooks now? I remember how his entire sophomore year diet consisted of microwavable mac and cheese, but not microwaved, and have trouble believing the thing he just said. At least let me start the fire. Sure. Just let me grab my matches. Craig reaches into his backpack. He rummages around in his bag, pulling things out and checking every pocket. Uh-oh.
I don't know.
I know I packed it. Craig checks another bag and still can't find it. My stomach grumbles and now I'm more acutely aware of how cold and wet I am. We really need to get a fire started. Okay, well, it's not the end of the world.
I don't know.
Gosh, I'm so stupid. I could have sworn I packed it. I'm sorry, dude. Don't be. We can figure this out. We can start a fire. We're smart guys. I mean, how hard could it be? I've watched plenty of survival programs on TV. If a naked reality TV star can do it, so can we. We'll need some wood. I gesture to the trees around us.
Oh, man.
There's no shortage of that. And some tinder.
Oh.
We could make that work. And then I think some ancient aliens are then supposed to come by and give us advanced technology. Or renovate our house. Depends on the show. Craig and I gather a variety of wood, bark, and moss until we have all the materials that could, conceptually, make a possible-looking fire. Just add fire, right? That's the fun part. The sun is just now setting and a cool breeze rustles the leaves of the trees around us. We have to work quick. I've done this in the past, I know I can figure it out. Just give me a second. Any way I can help? Give me some moral support. Lift my spirits and we'll make this fire happen. Go overboard with compliments. You can do it. Never knew a better Craig. Go overboard with compliments. You're really giving that fire the business. You're an amazing, hardworking father with a steady work ethic, and everyone loves you. Your daughters think you're a superhero, and the neighborhood dads respect you immensely. And your butt looks great. Bro, stop. You'll make me cry. Okay. Don't want your tears putting out the fire. Eventually, Craig is miraculously able to get something going. He blows on the embers and gently places the glowing moss into the base of the pit. Soon enough, we have a nice little fire going. Way to go, man. We're regular old outdoorsy fellows. Hooray for not dying! I take a seat in one of the lawn chairs Craig brought and cozy up to the fire, warming up my hands. Relax, man. Take it easy. Let me handle the dinner. I watch as Craig stokes the fire and sets up a makeshift grill for the steaks. After all that hiking and swimming, and fire starting, I'm able to relax a bit. With the sound of crickets and the scent of steak filling the air, I actually feel pretty calm. Craig expertly sears 2 steaks in a pan he's been heating up on the fire, cracking thyme and crushed ginger all over it, while basting them both in butter. Wow, I didn't know he was actually good at cooking. The fanciest I ever saw him get in college was when he started sprinkling the seasoning packets onto dry ramen and eating it straight up. When did this happen? You used to eat cereal every morning with beer instead of milk. I grew up, I guess. I think these are just about ready. Craig puts the steak onto a paper plate and sets them aside. I start to reach for one, but Craig smacks my hand away.
Oh.
Dude, let them rest. They'll be more flavorful that way. I patiently return to my seat, eyeing the steaks longingly from a distance. They smell incredible. Oh, I'm hungry now. Craig prepares a side salad for us in the meantime, sprinkling feta cheese onto a freshly chopped greens. He plates it next to a generous pile of roasted potatoes covered in olive oil and rosemary. Oh, stop. Once it's all ready, we sit down by the fire and dig in.
Huh?
Everything taste okay? I'm in heaven.
Oh.
That's what I like to hear. Remember how for an entire semester we would eat burritos for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? It's so hard not to go back to that. Look at you now, man. You have kids, a great job, and now you cook like a vegetable wizard. Sorry, vengeful. And now you cook like a vengeful wizard whose arch nemesis is microwavable food. I'm really impressed with how much you've gotten your life together. Craig laughs, but there's no humor in it. I'm glad you think that. I glance at Craig while he picks at his salad. He really grew out of his baby face. But there's something about his expression that makes him seem so much older than he is. A sense of maturity he didn't have in college. He looks exhausted. You okay?
Oh.
Yeah. Come on, dude. I've known you for long enough to see when you're down.
Oh.
I'm tired, bro. I think being out here is making me realize just how drained I feel. You work really hard, Craig. It can't be easy.
Oh.
I have to. For my girls. I volunteer at their school. I cook healthy meals for them. I do everything I can to make sure they're safe and happy. And when they're with their mom, I'm always working overtime so I can support them. And then you work out a lot so you can crush everyone who stands in their way.
Oh.
That, and I don't want to fall into my old habits. I need to set a good example for my girls. Everything I do is for them. And I wouldn't have it any other way. But it seems like it's bleeding you dry.
Nice.
If that's what it takes to raise them well, then it's worth it. Craig, buddy, I know where you're coming from here, but you gotta take care of yourself too.
Hey.
I do, though. I eat right, I exercise, and that's not what I mean. You're too little butter on too much toast, you know?
Dude.
What? You're spreading yourself too thin. Life needs balance. It's great that you care this much about your kids, but you can't neglect your own needs because you're too busy taking care of everyone else's. You matter too.
I don't know.
It's just, I know I can provide for my family, and if I take a step back and look at everything, objectively, I know I'm doing right by them. But I can't explain it, man. There's always that voice in the back of my head telling me that I need to do more. It's like it's never enough for me. Every time I try to relax, that voice keeps telling me I don't deserve it. To be honest, I even feel guilty about being out here. Craig, you're trying your best, and you're doing an amazing job. That's a fact. But even if you weren't, you would still deserve happiness.
Oh, man.
Do I, though? Aw. Hell yeah, bro. I look at Craig and think about what a good friend and even better father he is. He's compassionate, he's hardworking, he's relentlessly positive. He encourages everyone to be the best version of themselves. He makes me want to be a better person. If you could only see yourself the way I see you.
Oh.
Craig beams. He gets up and walks over to his supplies.
Oh.
Come on, I brought dessert. Oh, are you going to use the campfire to torch the tops of some creme brulee?
Oh.
What? I know little to nothing about cooking. Craig pulls out marshmallows.
Hey.
Well, you still know how to make s'mores, right? I think the more important question is, do you know how to make s'mores? As I recall, you used to just completely blacken the marshmallows. Oh, I stand by that. It's charred on the outside, but the gooey center is preserved. Brutish. Craig throws the marshmallow at me and I catch it in my mouth.
Oh.
Pro move. Pro move. We used to be able to do that at a great distance against a wind disadvantage. Give me a week of practice and I'll be competitive again. Craig and I sit in the warm glow of the campfire, watching embers float up towards the sky. The stars are so much brighter out here. Yeah. I miss this, Rorius. Me too. We stay here until it gets late, half remembering stories from college. We watch as the fire dies and eventually clamber into the tent. We crawl into the tent and I unfurl my sleeping bag. Wait, where's the other sleeping bag? I look around for a second. Oh. Oh no, I must have left it at home. It's all yours, dude, I'm sorry. I'll just curl up over here. No way. Here. Craig unzips the sleeping bag and spreads it out so there's enough room for both of us to lay on top of it. Aw. What about the... Do they have like a mattress? When I go camping, I bring a blow-up mattress. Because who wants to sleep on the floor? Night, bro. Good night, bro. I roll over and we face away from each other without a blanket. It's really cold. I shiver and without realizing it, I find myself nestling closer to Craig. I'm sure he won't mind. He turns over and I can feel his breath on my neck. It's hard to focus on anything else. I turn over, trying to get more comfortable. I open my eyes to find Craig's face only a few inches from my own. For once, he looks at peace. His eyes flutter open. His hands find a place on my waist. Aw. Oh god. I'm not sure who leans in first, but suddenly we're kissing. We look at each other again, my heart racing. Craig.
Oh.
I've got strong feelings for you, bro. Feelings I can't deny anymore. The voice I've given him is weird for this. Bro. Me too. I run my hands through his hair, then down to his chest. Craig brings me closer, wrapping his arms around me. I feel so... secure.
Oh.
You know, talking about old times is fun, but
Oh.
I like making new memories with you. I smile, tracing the lines of his hip with my finger. We kiss again. I'm not worried about us getting too cold tonight. Okay. How did that go? Grill, baby boomer, bro, sports, butt tree, outdoorsy. Okay.
Man, that was amazing. Just like back in college. I've missed you, dude.
Just like back in college? I don't think so. Yeah, I got the achievement Cake Stand Champion. That's just for going on the 3 dates with Craig. I haven't got any of the achievements for this game, so every third date is going to give me one. I don't know how long this outro sequence is going to be. How long was that date? I feel like that was quite long. Do I make another episode of this? Maybe I do. Yeah, you know what? I wasn't going to make another normal episode after this one, but I think I'm going to do the whole outro sequence separate. Because I don't know how long I've actually been recording, but I've been interrupted a few times, so the recording says I've been recording for ages. I don't know how accurate that is. Fingers crossed this episode is a good length, and we'll pick this up. We'll pick up the outro, the final section, next time. If you like what you saw, hit like. If you want to see more from me, then subscribe. Yeah, so, that was intense. I didn't remember that part for some reason. I remembered the waterfall bit, and that's it. I forgot how that date ended the last time I saw it. But let's see how our ending is with the guys and with Craig. Because, yeah, the outro is just like the intro, where at the intro we met all the dads, and then we had like a barbecue where we discussed with everything. I think the outro works just very similarly, where it's like, you do some things, and then you go to a barbecue, and you see all the dads again, and then you get the unique, like, final piece at the end. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and as always,